It's not about an award. It's not about something you can put on your resume. It's a greater good. And if people can get to that greater good, we're all better off.
Individuals to be able to say, you know, although I would like to be best in doing this, I recognize that I don't have everything it would take to do it.
So this kind of whole idea that we're all partial owners in this, that we're all working together for this, is a huge part of just the ownership view of a collaborative.
They need to bring their best ideas. They need to not be married to things that we've done in the past. And at the same time, you need some value to structure.
It's the listening that makes the difference. You stop, you allow someone else to express themselves, you weigh it, and you be open about your own feelings.
You have young people who are on fire, and you have people who bring all this knowledge and experience from years of working and being professionals. You have volunteers and clients, and then you have the social workers who are sitting next to CEOs around the table. And I think when we reached a certain level of diversity around the table, in the ways that I just described, is when we really started to see things move in the collaborative.
A belief that for each of us that, like, I don't have the answer, and a real commitment to collaboration, not just going through the motions of it, but really coming together and valuing the other people.
Any form of collaboration, especially if you're about the business of renewing something or starting something, you're going to hit a wall of resistance. And am I willing to commit that that wall, that resistance, is not going to deter me from getting to the goal that we've agreed to get to?
Akron does stand out as having some unique collaborative relationships. We are truly that collaborative city that we hear Akron purported to be, and that's evident in the relationships between local government and businesses and nonprofits.
The organizations got to know a little bit more about what each one of them did, and maybe were a little more sympathetic to some of their needs and wants. There were also things that if they would work together, there would be savings economically that made a lot of sense.
We were serving about 200 to 300 people, and at the height of the collaboration, we were serving over 3,000 individuals. So those were individuals who probably would not have been served. The other 2,700 individuals would not have been served had we not collaborated with our other partners.
Community responding and not leaving people behind.
People brought different strengths. Some people are big picture visionary, some people are strong in communication, some people can really help with the necessary practical details.
Through that collaboration, you think of things you never think of on your own. And you really then can identify new possibilities. And again, through working together, those possibilities become realities.
I saw so many people around the table doing more, and it made me do more. I wanted to. It's the best form of positive peer pressure that I've ever experienced. I see them working hard. I want to keep working hard.
I'm picking up new skills and new talents that if I just worked with my organization or I just worked in my department, we're all very similar, so I may have not picked that up.
People are beginning to see the power of collaboration. And they recognize that if they're going to have the kind of maximum impact, it's going to take other people at the table who can bring things to the table they can't bring.
When we work together, we create better opportunities for us to live at a very basic level in greater degrees of happiness and contentment.
Leaders in Akron, I think, more than anywhere else that I know of, see situations in the community, not just from their individual lens or through the lens of their organization, but through the lens of the whole community and what's best for the community. And that vision, that perspective, fosters so much of the collaboration that Akron is known for.
Wow, this is a great community. You know, it's big enough to have some good things happening. It's small enough that people can make connections with one another and work together and know who else would be interested in this or what strength do we need.
They're dedicated, they're hardworking, they're trustworthy, and they're just plain nice. And it's easy to collaborate when you have people like that.
There is a love of this community. People want to give to this community. They feel it's theirs. They're excited about it.
A place where, you know, the generations could work together. And together they're working on a project. But the project is important, but what's even more important is that relationship. Because I think if you can use these community centers that are already there, the physical buildings are there, if you can bring the resources through collaboration to bear in these community learning centers so that you have these generations working together, I think that we have many of the things in place that it's doable 3 years down the road. But it does take that community spirit of everybody giving what they have to make it work.
It might not necessarily be in a bunch of projects. It's about the feeling of the place. It has a strong soul of the community that when you come here, you feel it as a place. It feels like a place you want to be.
So I would see us playing together. I would see us praying together. I would see us dreaming together. I would see us planning things together. I would see us saying, what is something huge, dynamic that we could do that would capture the attention of the world? And I think the biggest thing we can do is love one another.
If we truly have a collaborative community, when an opportunity comes around the corner, people are picking up their phones, calling one another. They're thinking about who can I work with to make this project or this initiative really sing and really be something great for our community.
The more that we line up behind some of these key issues that we're all working together to achieve, the more successful we'll be and the more Summit County will stand out as someone who's doing it differently.
Everyone needs to have access to influence and access to decisions and decision makers in order for our collaboration to continue into the future in this community.
Continued dialogue between the public and the private sector, between the political leadership and the organizations that are within the community.
We were in a meeting the other day and one of our friends said, words create worlds. And it's a lot about us all believing that it's all possible if we're working together and collaborating.
To build assets among people and individuals, organizations and others, and to share resources.
You have to have people invested in the process and participating in the process, all in the room together and actually talking to each other and going through that shared experience.
We put aside our personal agendas and push up front the agenda of the community.
The more that we know each other and recognize what everyone contributes to the community, the better we can collaborate.
You can't view your organization as the most important thing. You have to take a step back and not be so concerned about the ownership, but be concerned that it gets done.
Calling out to people's aspirations. You know, okay, here's where we're falling short. We need to name that, recognize it, and what can we possibly be? A lot of times my strength, and I need practical detailed people to go along with this because I'm not as much so, but I'm a possibilitarian. And so bringing people together, and often you can get people excited about possibilities. They break through the political barriers, the religious barriers, all the stuff that just gets in the way. Once I know I can trust you and you can trust me and we're gonna get there, we're gonna get there.